Hello everyone, my name is Awa and welcome to part 2 of my achievement guide for the 10 new achievements for Demeter. Yesterday I went over how you can get the 4 achievements from the mythic battle and then how you could do 2 other achievements while you're in there really easily. So today I'm going to go over how you can easily do the other 4 achievements. I've heard people's feedback and a lot of people don't enjoy playing as Demeter, and honestly same, I prefer her more as an opponent than playing as, but hopefully by helping you guys do the achievements quickly you don't have to play her too much. So for today's achievement is the Witherwood Chipper. And what you're going to do is just cast her power on Ironwood. You know, Ironwood's the map of all that wood in the middle. If you cast her power there, it should be able to destroy a lot of the trees. And since they're so condensed, it should only take like 3 or 4 casts to be able to get it. And if you're wondering how I'm able to cast it so fast, it's because before the match started, I set the settings to have Ultra Resources and be in Lightning mode. Lightning mode allows you to recast your powers way faster, and the Ultra Resources gives you enough favor to recast as many times as you want. Also, I set the bot to no AI, so it won't attack. This way I can do my shenanigans uninterrupted. And when I'm done the match, I just resign. Alright, in the next achievement I'm going to be working on is called the Hearth and Home. So I'm going to be moving to the Jotunheim map here. Because of how it works, you spawn at a choke point. And we're going to go to that choke point and build a bunch of walls. The settings I use will appear on screen right now. Do not make the same mistake I did. Be sure to turn Titans off. Please turn Titans off. The enemy Titans will walk straight through your walls. I'm going to be building my wall in a circle kind of shape to maximize the amount of area the hearth can reach, since the hearth's range is more of a circle shape. Or you build it as a thick square, there's going to be a lot of dead space it doesn't reach in, and you build it as a thin square, then there's going to be too vulnerable and the enemy can shoot it down. And then you might be noticing I'm building my walls kind of weird here. Building it this way where there's a lot of edges and not too much openings will actually make your walls stronger, because those tall parts actually have more health than the long parts. So that's why I'm kind of just spamming it, making as many of those tall parts as possible, because we do not want the enemy breaking through to our hearth and destroying it. But yeah, I'm going to be showing you guys how I did it. And then since the enemy AI will be on the lowest difficulty, which is standard, they will not age up until you do. So if you purposely don't age up, you'll have plenty of time to build all your walls. And in case you forgot to set it to infinite resources, you would be able to gather resources during this time. But in hindsight, after I did it, I was like, yeah, I should have done this with infinite resources. But anyway, build that thing somewhat circular. I kind of messed up with the shape. I believe in you guys to do better. Once we get this wall done though, we're going to want to fly through the ages as fast as possible to be able to start placing hearths before the enemy army arrives. Because as soon as we hit age 2, they're going to start producing an army to send to us. And if you're not quick enough, the army is going to come and it's going to tear through the walls. And the bots are going to be pretty quick about making a Titan, since they also have, you know, as much resources as you do. So there's not much stopping them from spamming Titans if you have that enabled. So please, please, please turn Titans off. Do not be like me. In fact, I recommend turning them off for the entirety of doing these achievements, since you using a Titan will not be relevant at all. I made 3 layers of walls here just to be extra safe, and I do get away with it. But if you want, you honestly only need 2 of these walls. If you build it my way with the long parts being abundant, they should be thick enough as is. Plus Pan provides you with a wall upgrade anyway. So looks like I'm about ready, so I'm gonna get ready to age up and get all my villagers in position to the town centers. And now we're aging up, and then I'm gonna get started on my things. Unfortunately, since I forgot to put on infinite resources, I am doing a bit of economy management here. But if you're doing infinite resources, don't worry about that. Just go ahead and place your hearth right at the edge of your wall. And you can see it should reach past our thick walls without being close enough to the wall that it can be shot down by the enemy. And since we're in lightning mode, we'll be able to recast that really quickly, so you'll want to go ahead and place some more. I honestly recommend doing it instantly, just to up the rate at which it converts enemies. Like, go ahead and put 3 or 4 there. I didn't do it here because I was going for a wonder to make it cheaper, but I guess it doesn't matter since you have like 7,000 favor anyway. But yeah, go ahead and do that. Each time that noise plays, it's an indicator that a unit got converted. If I'm not mistaken, it's the same noise that the Chinese sages have when they convert an enemy temporarily. Oh, and also might be a good idea to disable Norse so you don't get Fimbulwinter during this. But you can see our trap's working pretty well with just 1 hearth, so imagine you guys added more. The enemy instantly stops what they're doing to attack the newly converted enemies, which stalls and gives you a lot more time to, well, convert more enemies. Please, please, please turn off Titans, because they just ruined the whole plan. And you can see I will be getting the achievement shortly here. And look at pot. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to reset back to 10 minutes. Alright, so I reset back to 10 minutes and now we're going to be working the Woodland Whammy achievement. In case you guys didn't know, when you play single player, your game auto-saves every 10 minutes, and when you click load in the main menu, you can load back to the last 3 increments of 10 minutes that happened. So I'm going to go ahead and destroy the hearth so it stops converting enemies, and then I'm going to move our Hamadryads up And what we're going to do is we're going to swap them to no attack stance, which is what I'm doing on screen right now. You just click that button I'm clicking in the bottom left corner, and look, with all the enemies bunched up, when Hamadryad uses their ability, they should be able to get 20. Yeah, this literally just uses the same setup as last achievement, since Hamadryads come with Pan, who also comes with a Hearth anyway, so you're basically getting 2 in one go. The reason why I put them in no attack stance is because they need to be idle for 10 seconds before they turn to a tree, and if they're not idle, then they won't turn to a tree and won't activate their ability, and therefore you won't get the achievement. So that's why it was important to have them on the no attack stance. Also keep in mind they have to be upgraded in order to use their ability. Just go to the temple and click the icon right underneath where you train them, and that will upgrade them. And then the last one is Lupine Lethality. It should be the easiest one. I'm actually going to show you guys the lobby this time so you guys can see what settings I am working with, because the other times I didn't show it. You can see lightning mode in top left, Titans disabled bottom right, and other settings. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to have a bunch of passive enemies. If they're passive, it means they won't attack us at all. This means we can attack them as much as we want and they won't be coming for our home base anytime soon. What you're going to do is you're going to rush to Wonder Age, because if you didn't know, Wonder Age doubles the stats of your myth units. So they get double attack and double health. And once you finish building all your stuff, you want to kill off all your villagers. This is because the Lycans actually share a population cap with the villagers. So the less villagers you have, the more Lycan you can have. And yeah, once you set up a bunch of temples outside the enemy base and have your wonder ready for the extra strong Lycan, get your Alpha Lycan upgrade and start sending them over to fight the enemy. It's going to be a very bad slaughter. Oh, actually remember to convert your Lycan to like the werewolf version. Once you get the upgrade, it seems kind of buggy and sometimes they won't turn to werewolf version if attacked. But just to be safe, manually do it by selecting all of them and clicking R by default. And R should convert into their wolf version, which then you can send into the battlefield. And yeah, you're just gonna have like this giant death pit over here of units fighting each other. Eventually, you will kill enough Cav naturally that you'll get the achievement. You see me sending Hepatis into the mix? I'm just sending them in to deal with any heroes that might serve as trouble to the Lycan. And unlike Hoplites, Hepatis do not have a multiplier against Cav, which make it less likely for Cav to die by Hepatis hands and more likely for them to die by Lycan hands. On top of that, for my opponent, I chose Poseidon since he's more inclined to make Cav of his fortress unit being Cav, and I wanted a Greek opponent because they would have a limited amount of heroes to deal with the Lycan. On top of that, I chose Megalopolis so all the opponents would be right next to each other, just for a maximum slaughter. And that's it. You saw I got the achievement pretty early on since I had already played Demeter a little bit, but if you need, you can just keep it going for a bit and they'll keep slaughtering Cav. And just like that, if you combine this video with my previous video, which I will put a card in the top right corner right now for you to click on and have access to, you will have gotten all 10 new Demeter achievements in less than a few hours. At least that's how long it took me. It only took me like 2 hours to get all of them. So yeah, with the recent buff to Gauntlet XP, we'll be able to get all achievements again, so I'm going to be aiming for the Gauntlet level 99 achievement in the next few days. I actually already did a run after the new update and I didn't get any extra XP like they said there would be. I don't know if I just got scammed or what, but I'm going to try it again and report back to you guys in a video later. But that's the bottom of the priority list right now. I'm going to go back to working on my mod since I said I would release the update for it within 1 or 2 days of Demeter. Well, today is day 1, so I have this urgency to get it out before it reaches day 2. I will hopefully be posting a trailer for that update, but just in case you guys want to catch up on everything you missed, I also have a playlist for that will be appearing in the top right corner right now. Anyway, the background footage is the footage of me doing the legendary run without getting the extra XP where I got scammed, so take that as you will. I'm gonna check again later. But thank you for watching and have a great day.